What's up, guys? This is Curtis coming at you live. Savannah, Georgia for your Week 9 predictions. New segment coming at you, so let's get right into it. Sean versus Dan. I didn't think we expected a lot from this game at first. I think it was going to be a clear Dan victory with Sean's bye situation. But Sean made some moves, big trade with Tristan. Game got a little bit closer. Richards already played for Sean, nothing crazy there, but good job considering the Raiders got blown out. I think Mahomes has a huge game in store for him, a fire under his belly. Facing Baker Mayfield for the first time since college. AP has been on a roll, and so has Hopkins, so I don't see anything changing there. I think that momentum continues. However, for Sean, I think Julio has a big week in store. I watched it. I think Jones Jr. sees at least 5 more targets with Tate gone to the Eagles. A little worried about Burton this week, though, for Sean. We'll see what happens there. But all in all, I think this matchup is going to be very close, perhaps a barn burner if things fall into place. But I think Sean made his trade this week looking to best prepare for the playoffs, and I think Dan ends up with a W by just a few points this week. Tino versus Mike. Tino actually not projected so much this week. I see he starts Trubisky again. I think Deshaun Watson's the better call here. We saw Brady had a lot of issues with the Buffalo defense, especially in their passing game, but to each his own. Mike's team could go off. His running back situation is a lot better. I don't think we see too much production from Ingram this week, though. But Sanders and Sanu, like I said, could have a day in their away games if things fall in place for them. But nothing fancy here. I think pending Mike's team going off and Tino's having a disaster, having an off day, I think Tino takes home another comfortable win and remains undefeated. Tristan versus Joey. Everyone's saying this Tristan and Sean trade was a bad trade, but looky here, Tristan with the highest projected lineup this week, 132 points projected. I think Joey's team sees a lot of production from Olsen at Tampa Bay this week. I think Matt Ryan has a day at Washington. I think Collins underproduces for Joey, though, in this week, as he has him in the flex. With the running back situation in Baltimore, Ty Montgomery not in the lineup. I think Tristan wins this one by a mile this week. I honestly think it's going to be a blowout. Sorry, Joey. John versus Johnny. This could be a really interesting one this week. I think John with a ton of players on bye and even more listed as questionable. I think if Johnny is going to get a win, this is his opportunity to do it. And he would do so in huge upset fashion. Doug Martin already played for John with a measly 7 points, so not a strong start there for his RB2 slot. I think if Johnny can get lucky with whoever he chooses to put in for a tight end and replace Ebron, who's on bye this week, as long as he gets some production from that replacement tight end, I think we're going to have a really close matchup this week. And I love a good underdog story. I'm picking Johnny to get his first win this week against John. Brian versus Cobbs, another nice matchup. Brian with AB now in the lineup following the trade with his brother Mike. I think you see a huge amount of production from his receivers this week as they both don't have very tough matchups. I think Cobbs' team could go off. I think they should be projected way higher than they are. I think Rudolph is going to have a good game. Diggs definitely. I think Kamara could be very productive just as long as he hopes he can find the end zone against a tough LA Rams defense with their new acquisition of DN from Jacksonville. I think it comes down to McCoy for Cobbs. I think McCoy needs to have a day in order to have Cobbs win this. In order to have Cobbs combat Brian's receiving core, I think Brian gets very lucky with the Sonny Michel injury. James White is an elite running back at this point, receiving number 1 running back in New England, but I just don't see McCoy being able to do all that with Khalil Mack in Chicago, to be honest. I think Brian takes home W this week against Cobbs. Drew Zone versus Markel. I've already stated my concerns about Markel's team in the past, but Thursday night's game didn't help this prediction at all. Kittle went off for J-Rock, putting him 20 already on the board heading into Sunday, while Cook put with a dud. Only 4 points from Markel. I would say this would be a blowout, but J-Rock's running situation is still garbage. So I think if Chubb is able to produce highly for Markel and Connor keeps doing what he's doing, I think this matchup ends up way closer than it needs to be. But I think J-Rock is still able to secure this win thanks to Kittle.